webcasting this thing. Okay, so we have reached 100 participants, and therefore I will just inform you that the meeting is now being live it's on the stream, and I am going to share with everybody the YouTube link. Right, so on the chat window I have shared, so if anybody is not able to join, you can share this. So right now, everybody is unmuted except the speaker, and I will be allowing the participants to unmute themselves in a minute. Okay. So today's agenda is as follows. First, we have an address by Dr. Kota Harinarayana, which will start very soon. After that, I will be giving you an overview of NACDeC-IV. Basically, I'll be touching upon the participation criteria, the proposed timelines, which can be amended based on the feedback received from the mentors and the students, team members today. I will talk about the plan that we have for the NACDeC-IV webinars like this one. I'll talk about team introductory videos which we need from each team, and we will tell you about the Slack workspace that we have created. And then we will touch upon the submission of the ICR. And finally, we will open the webinar for any queries from the participants. So friends, Dr. Kota Harinarayana actually needs no introduction in the aerospace community, but it is my present duty to talk a few words about him. He is the chairman of the design division of the Aeronautical Society of India, and also the chief patron of this particular national competition. He is the man behind this competition, and very soon he will be sharing his views about it. He has been awarded the Distinguished Scientist Award by DRDO and also the Lifetime Achievement Award by our ex-president Dr. Manmohan Singh in 2008. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 2007 for his yeoman services to the aerospace community. And we all know him as the program director and the chief designer of our own indigenous light combat aircraft Tejas. With this project, the aircraft design activities in the country received a huge impetus and boost. And it is thanks to Dr. Kota Harinarayana that all our activities are now slowly becoming well known. So with this, I would like to welcome Dr. Kota Harinarayana to give his address.
So thank you, Professor Pant, for a sweet introduction. dear young friends, and Professor Pant. Indeed, it is a pleasure and honor for me to be part of you. I'm thankful to Professor Pant to take this initiative. Design division started about 4 years back. Our whole aim is see that the young people who are coming out of the college, they have the ability to conceive, conceptualize, and also carry out a first cut design of any type of aircraft that is that can enter into service subsequently. We want you to have that ability to conceptualize and think through, and that is the whole background. And the design division itself came out so that the the young students and the young faculty who are there, they have this ability to do the design and make a product. I think that is important. If you want to make yourself a designer or somebody who can create, conceive, it is very, very important capability. And we thought this process, we will be able to help you to train yourself and to work together as a team, bring different disciplines together and come out with an aircraft design, which you could see to what extent it is doing compared to what else which is there in the world. You will be able to, through this competition and through these projects, you will scan what is happening in the world, what is happening in the country, and what are the new technologies that are available, what are the tools that are available, and with these tools, with these technologies, how can we create this one? This is the fourth competition, and Professor Pant will be, of course, talking about the particular problem that has been now put forth for the competition. But most important thing is, you must participate fully, understand what you are doing, and when you come out of this competition, you will know that your confidence in yourself, your confidence in teamwork, your confidence to conceive will increase tremendously. That is what is our idea. And through these 3 years which have passed, and this is the fourth one, we have found that more and more students are getting benefited, more and more colleges are getting benefited, and we look forward to all of you together contributing to your own growth and growth in the country. Real Atmanirbhar will get when you are able to design a product, and aircraft is a complex system and a complex product. Once you are able to do that, I'm sure you will shine well anywhere in the world. So I'm grateful to Professor Pant to give me an opportunity, and I look forward to all of you intensely working, creating, and taking all the help that you can get from Professor Pant, and any further inputs are required through Professor Pant. All of you are here to support you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for starting off NACDeC-IV with such an encouraging and positive note. I'll go back to my screen now. Yes. Let us start by looking at some basic information regarding NACDeC now. Many students have approached us for clarification regarding the participation eligibility criteria. Please note that right from the beginning, we have kept this competition especially for the students of aerospace engineering or aeronautical engineering, both undergraduate and postgraduate, from any institute in the country which is approved by AICTE or by UGC. Okay, so this is a dedicated competition for the aerospace engineering students. Each team can have maximum 5 members, but there is no binding. You can have 4, you can have 3. In fact, I think NACDeC number 2 was won by a team of only 2 students from MIT Manipal. So there is no restriction, but you cannot have more than 5 members. We are also insisting that one faculty member from the institute where you belong should be the faculty mentor. This person will be our point of contact. And let me clarify that the faculty mentor is not expected to actually very actively participate in the design activity, although the students can definitely take guidance and advice, but we are not expecting that the faculty member will really become the team leader and drive the whole process. The faculty member's role is basically to be a point of contact with us. Another very strict requirement is that we are going to have only one team per institution. So for that, we first go by whichever application we receive first, and then in case there are duplicate entries, then if the college authorities decide to nominate a particular team and drop the other teams, we will go by that. But generally we go by first come first serve. In this competition, NACDeC-IV, three institutes have submitted 2 entries each. So we have already reached out to them and said that, look, we will take by default the first entry which has come, but the college also reserves the right to change and send us the final entry. Okay, now I'll also talk to you about the proposed schedule for NACDeC-IV. Now this particular schedule has been arrived at us purely based on our experience of the last 3 years, and keeping in mind the current situation of the pandemic, and also the fact that many of you are actually working from home like all of us, there could be some minor changes made to this particular schedule. We are not calling it hard and fast schedule. This is the proposed schedule, and today we hope to have a short discussion in the end if there are any changes to this schedule that any team would like to suggest because of genuine issues. Our idea was that we will start off by the first submission by each team, called as the ICR. I'll talk about it. And for that, approximately 1 month time is being given. And then we will take some time to go through the ICRs and shortlist the teams for second stage. Purely from calendar point of view, I wanted to finish this in the current year and start the new year with the stage 2 activities. So in the new year, we would like to give 3 months approximately to all teams for giving us their midterm review. And this midterm review is going to be reviewed by expert of a team of experts. And if we find that even by end of March, some teams have not really done anything, or even they have not even taken any efforts to do the design, or the progress is very, very poor, we might request some teams to discontinue. Then after 2 months, we are asking the teams to give us the final report. That is by end of May, which is the typical time by which most institutions and colleges have the end of the semester. And then since June and July is normally used by students for their summer internships, we were requested in the last few years not to keep any activity in June and July. So that's why we are saying that by end of June, we will shortlist the teams for the final stage. And normally we conduct the final round in Bengaluru. And it is supposed to be a Saturday. So I just found out that 14th August happens to be a Saturday. So I've just put 14th August as the date for the stage 3 presentations. Now, towards the end of today's discussion, when we have queries, I'm going to open up the floor for people to give their comments or suggestions regarding the schedule. Okay, so it's not final, it is open to changes. All right. Now, about webinars. This is the first webinar, but there will be many more. We are going to conduct webinars on Zoom, for which we have taken a special account. This account which I'm using is a dedicated account for the webinars for NACDeC. We are going to request participants to tell us what are the topics in which they would need some advice and guidance. And we also, based on our own judgment, will identify some relevant topics. And in each webinar, these topics will be covered by some expert who volunteers to conduct it. These topics and the webinars are mostly going to be related to the problem statement, although they will not give you any direct hint or suggestions on how to solve the problem. but they will give you guidelines and advice on how to proceed in that direction. Okay? So they will be mostly related to problem statement and how to attack it. Our plan of action is to have one webinar every month. Okay. I don't know whether it will actually happen. Maybe there will be more than one webinar a month, depending on how many volunteers come forward, depending on the logistics. But broadly speaking, we want to have at least one webinar every month so that we keep in constant touch and there is a continuous progression. I also want you to prepare, each team is requested to prepare a small video called as the team introductory video. So we need one video per team, and what we are looking for is, we are looking for that video should contain an introduction of all the team members one by one, starting from the team lead and maybe even the faculty mentor towards the end. We want you to answer this question: how did you come to know about NACDeC-IV? We also want to know, all of you are going to have come up with a name for your team. So we want to know how you came up with the team's name. And also, what are your expectations from this competition? How do you think you will benefit by taking part from the competition? And also what your views are and all. So it's a very informal kind of a thing, which is around 10 minutes per team approximately, which I would like each team to create. Now, so far, we have already received around 10 videos, I am told, by the volunteers, but we would like to have it from all the teams which have taken part. The purpose is just to, get to know each other and to realize what you are looking for. Okay. Then a workspace on Slack has been created by our volunteers, whom I will very briefly introduce shortly. They are suggesting that we can create one account on the common Slack workspace for each team, where you can load your reports, where you can share your material if you want to. This will allow you to interact with the volunteers and the convener, that is myself, if you want to share something. Also, you can share your files with other people or any other material that you want to share. If you come across some very interesting videos or any information that you wish to share, you can use that. We will use this particular Slack workspace to also request you to upload your reports so that we can access them. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the first document that we expect from all of you is the initial concept report, or the ICR. Let me give you a brief idea about what we meant by ICR and what should be included in the ICR. The ICR should contain your plan of action. That means, given the deadlines and the schedule that we are going to finalize, how are you going to address this problem? What will be your timeline? Tell us about how you are going to divide the responsibility among the various team members. That means, who will be responsible for what? Of course, all of you work together. A team always works together, but it is always good to have every team member to be given specific responsibilities, and that way it becomes very easy for us to accomplish the task. Otherwise, what will happen is that no one will do that anyone could have done, because everyone thought that someone will do it, whereas no one did it. No one did it. So that kind of thing can happen. We also want you to include in this initial concept report some background literature or studies that you could do in the limited time available of 1 month. Actually, even less than a month. And if you can tell us what is your assessment about the key design challenges that you will face. So this is not any great conceptual design report or any massive calculations, etc. It is just an initial document telling us that you are serious about it and that you really have thought about some kind of a plan of action in consultation with your faculty mentor and the entire team members. Okay. So I would expect document to be maybe approximately 10 pages, not more. You can make it more, but 10 pages is good enough for you to communicate your plan of action, which takes only 1 page, team member, etc., etc. One request I have is that since this particular document is going to be given to some evaluators, nowhere in the report, except in the first page, you should mention the name of the institution and the team. So from page 2 onwards, or you can have a cover page which definitely should be there, containing your team name, your team members, and the college, etc. But from next page onwards, there should be no mention about from where you are, because we don't want the evaluators to be biased by the name of the institution. We want them to assess your report purely based on the content of the ICR. Okay, so this is very important. If any team doesn't follow the guidelines, we are going to be very strict about it. So please be careful. Don't reveal anything other than in the first page. The next question is when it will be submitted. I already told you, Christmas Day. Christmas Day is the current deadline for you to submit the report. Okay, so you have actually you have less time. You have only about 20 days, 3 weeks or so for you to submit the report. Let me introduce you to the team of volunteers who are helping me very ably in handling the various activities of this project. The principal coordinator for this particular activity is Namanuddin, who is a recent aerospace engineering graduate from Abdul Kalam Technical University in Lucknow. Then we have Soumya Saravagi, who is from NIT Durgapur, and she is going to handle the WhatsApp channel and the LinkedIn channel. We have C. Ramakrishnan from IIT Kharagpur, who will handle the social media handler. We have B. Lakshman from SREC Coimbatore, who is going to handle our Facebook account. Aishwarya has volunteered from BMS College of Engineering to handle the Instagram. So she will be looking forward to a lot of photographs and other content from you. And Harshit Bansal, also from BMS College of Engineering, is our YouTuber. So he is going to manage the YouTube channel. So all of these social media channels are accessible. And we do have a dedicated website for NACDeC, as you know, www.nacdec.org. This particular website will continuously be updated with all the events and activities. So do keep watching, and please help us in popularizing NACDeC by creating and sharing content with us on all these accounts. Okay, so these are the links for the social media handles. And now I think I've spoken enough. So I would like to open the floor for your queries, for your comments, and for your suggestions. Okay, so over to you. I would request if somebody wants to say something right now, it will be better if you just raise your hands, and then we are going to just unmute you and allow you to put your point. Okay, so the floor is open. Anyone can raise their hand, and then we will start our discussion. Okay, Robin Sahota has raised the hand. Robin, you can. I'm trying to. I'm allowing you to unmute your mic. Please go ahead, Robin.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Robin. You can share your video also if
Am I audible, sir?
If it is possible. You are absolutely audible, Robin.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
So
I just was about to ask that are there any dimensional constraints?
No, we are not
specifying.
Yes, we are not specifying any dimensional constraints per se. But remember, we have given. I mean, all of you basically have seen the problem statement. That's why I'm not trying to show it right now. So what you do is you look at the problem statement, and then you decide your own constraints and your own assumptions. We are not specifying any constraints on the size. I have one more request. All participants, please rename yourselves so that I don't see 051220. I see the name of the person and maybe the team. Vijay Ganesh, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Vijay.
Yes, sir. So my question is that when in the initial concept report, the literature survey section, what are we actually expected to write in that? Are we supposed to do, are we supposed to derive something from our literature survey, that we have studied this much amount of literature and we have derived that this much work has been done till now, and this much work is my question directly, by saying that, my question directly is, what is expected in the literature survey section? Can you just please elaborate on that?
Okay. So you see, the time available for you to write the ICR is actually very limited. So therefore, we are not saying that you should have extensive survey of literature and then, after that you don't do anything. What we want to just see is that whether you have at least bothered to look at what is currently available in this class of aircraft, what is being done. So it need not be very, very exhaustive because time is limited, but at least you should be able to do enough so that you can find out, oh, based on our basic study, these are the important design problems that will crop up when we take up this particular project. So to that extent, we would like you to do the survey of literature. At least that much we should be able to do.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sandita, you can unmute yourself now.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Sandita.
Sir, if I could, because the point of extending or the time given for the ICR has come, I would like to request you, if so boldly, to extend the timeline of the ICR, because currently our odd semester end sems are going on and we have exams every alternate day with the vivas.
Okay.
And the 18th of December. By that time, we'll get only a week to work for the ICR. So if you could change the date and put it somewhere in January, third week.
Okay. So you are saying that you have exams till say 18th of December.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will make a note. We will decide the date based on what other people also say. So that's okay. I take your point. Very well taken. Okay. Right. Anything else you want to say or discuss regarding the competition?
As of now, no, sir.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead to Jatin Jangra. So if you, Jatin.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Jatin.
Sir, I am from IIST Trivandrum.
Okay.
And sir, actually we also have the same concern about the deadline, 25th December for ICR report. We have our end sem till 21st December actually. Already we did some literature survey, but it is like not enough to report because we want to be a bit thorough in what all challenges we are going to face.
When does your MSEM start?
Sir, it is starting on Monday, 7th December.
Okay. So you are occupied in the exam from 7th to 21st December. So what is your team name?
Sir, Vision 5.
Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Point noted, Jatin.
Yes, thank
now
you.
let me go to okay. There is someone called Aero India. Aero Indians, sorry.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yeah.
This is Sudha from Aero Indian CU, Chandigarh University.
Okay.
Sir, we have exams from 7th of December to 27th of December. So we are occupied to that slot.
Okay. All right, Sudha, noted. Your point is noted.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. Nikita.
Yeah, yes, sir. I wanted to know about the reference atmosphere that we will be dealing with here.
That's a very good question. That's a very, very pertinent question. Since this particular vehicle is being designed for India, we have to look at what is called as the Indian reference atmosphere. Now, you have to figure out what is meant by Indian reference atmosphere and what to take it. Okay, so you are right.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
This vehicle is to be designed for India, and hence we have to look at Indian reference atmosphere.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a very, very important question.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
All right. Jasmine Jerry.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to know what is the meaning of en route constraint and the separation between vehicles that is mentioned in the RFP.
Okay. So when this vehicle flies, it is going to fly, it is an intercity transportation system. So it is going to fly from one city to the other city. So during its flight, so that it does not come dangerously close or collide with any other man-made or natural object, we would like to maintain a minimum safe distance between this vehicle and any obstacle en route. So that is 600 meter, right? So that is what it is. So when you plan the flight, and also you'll have to look at some mechanism by which this thing is automatically taken care in the design. All right. So there is someone who has named.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. There is someone. Thank you, Jasmine. Very nice question. There is someone called William Ebenezer. I'm sure that's not the true name. But yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. That is my name, sir.
Oh, it is very good. Okay.
Good evening, sir. I'm William from IIT Kharagpur.
Right.
And sir, I had a question about. I had two questions actually.
Okay.
So the first one is about the altitude that the eVTOL is supposed to fly at. Are there any constraints at that? Some minimum altitude that we should fly at to avoid the skyline or something like that?
That is the one I answered just now. You have to ensure that when you fly, there will be a minimum obstacle distance, but there is no other specification that it has to fly at some minimum altitude. You can decide. Look up at the regulations, look at what other people are doing, and then you decide.
Okay.
And then you can quote those sources to justify your choice.
All right, sir.
Okay. Next is a roll number IAH19.
Sir, I had a second question.
Yes, I'm sorry, William. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So it was about like we noticed that there were two key velocities mentioned, the cruise speed and the maximum speed. Probably figures of 200 and 250.
Okay.
So what could you just clear that up a little bit, because maybe cruise speed is probably at the speed at which the aircraft can comfortably fly for the most optimized range, and the maximum speed is probably for it's like a structural constraint that it cannot fly beyond a certain speed. If you could shed some light on that.
Yeah, see, maximum speed could be limited either from the propulsion considerations or from the structural considerations. Okay, we are just saying that we actually speaking, if you are a designer, you would design the aircraft with some margin of safety beyond the maximum speed. What I wanted to say is that it should have the ability to sustain at the maximum speed, but we are okay if it cruises at a lower speed, because that might be the optimum speed for its range. Okay. So it's like this: the vehicle should be able to go at 250 if needed, but the vehicle should be able to cruise at 200 in the normal course of time.
Is it okay if we have the top speed, the maximum speed coming only when it is descending? I mean, the power plant is not necessarily able to accelerate it to that speed.
No. The moment we say maximum speed, we expect it to be in level flight.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, William. Okay, and yeah, so the next is 1AH198. Can you rename yourself, please? And
good evening, sir. I'm Akhil.
What is your name? What is your name?
Akhil, sir. Yes, sir. We are from Team Metal Hawk. Metal Hawk, sir. Yes, sir. ACS College of Engineering.
Okay. 1 minute. Metal Hawk. I'll just change your name so that it is not a roll number.
Thank you, sir. It was not possible to change it after the meeting started. I'm using in mobile.
Okay, fine. Don't worry. I have allowed now people to rename themselves. So I will request, for example, 051220 to rename and put your correct name.
Yes.
Akhil, go ahead. What is your query?
Yes, I had two questions. One is, are we supposed to show the calculations like thrust and all in the initial report?
In the initial report, actually, I don't even expect you to do any calculations. See, okay. I told you what is expected in the initial report. What is expected in the initial report is survey of literature, plan of action, team member responsibilities, and what are the design challenges. Where did I say that you do any calculations?
So no, sir. I mean the design feasibility. I thought if we present some calculations to back it up.
No, it's up to you. See, the initial concept report is actually just to check how serious and how committed you are, and what is your plan of action. Are you ready? Have you thought about it? I actually don't expect any design calculations in the initial concept report, because as I mentioned to you, this is not the conceptual design report. It is only an initial concept report. I mean, maybe we should have named it something else, maybe initial report. Okay, but just focus on those three things. Tell us about your team decomposition and responsibilities. Tell us your plan of action. Tell us what have you found in the literature, and tell us what are the key design challenges. More than this is welcome, but this is enough. And 10 pages.
Okay, sir. And the second question was regarding the fuel, sir. Like in the problem statement, it's given as electric based, but it's also given as like a biofuel. I mean, like, can we use a hybrid for the aircraft, or should it be strictly restricted to electric?
No, I think what we have mentioned is any green non-fossil fuel.
Yes, sir.
There is no mention of bio.
Yes, a green fossil. Any.
No. So that's it. Green non-fossil fuel.
Okay, sir. It can be a hybrid also.
I'm just repeating once again. Green non-fossil fuel.
Okay,
that's all. You have to use. Don't use fossil fuels. That's it. Use any other thing that is green. Green means environmentally friendly, not the green color, not the green color. Environmental friendly, any item, and that's it. That is what we are expecting you to do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you, Akhil. Now we'll go to Aero Indians. I'm not able to read the full name, sorry, because Aero Indians, Pushkin TS. Okay, please go ahead, Pushkin.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. Yes, go ahead.
I am Pushkin from Chandigarh University. So my question is, as we are from India, do we have any cost constraints?
No, see, we have many constraints, of course, but you see, the document which I have already shared with you as the problem statement and the objective, it clearly mentions what all kind of things are expected to be investigated. So go strictly by that. So yes, there are, it will be nice to get some idea about the cost, but if you read the document carefully, it will tell you what is expected and what is not expected. So follow that in your cost estimations.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So my suggestion to all teams is, first you try to do what all is required. And then in the end, see, doing anything more than needed is a waste of time and effort. So, there is no point in doing it. Okay. Moving ahead, let's go to Parinavet.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Sir, I'm from Manipal Institute of Technology.
Okay.
Sir, my question is very simple. It was regarding the fact that there are certain safety regulations which are in place when we are talking about any taxi which is on road. Should the same safety and regulations be applied to this as well? Because then other constraints also come into factor.
No, this is an air taxi. So it will have its own rules. There will be, I don't think the road taxi rules like, side impact bars and those regulations, etc., will be applicable to an air taxi. Air taxi is an aircraft, so it will be designed with aircraft rules.
And any regulation should be with respect to the airfield in question. So say, for instance, if you are covering a major city or if you're covering any small city, that's it.
Yeah, so whatever is your assessment about the regulation, you see, you have to understand one thing, that this is a conceptual design exercise. So you really cannot go into the very detailed regulations for each component but of course, if you are sensitive enough to the general requirements, it will be sufficient.
Right. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Archit.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, actually, I had two doubts. One doubt regarding the deadline of the final report submission. So currently it is 30th of May, I guess. But sir, could it be flexible? Like later on, as we get our next semester schedules, we might have exams.
Obviously, that is applicable to me also. You see, what you say is right. All these are tentative right now because you don't even know the schedule of your next semester. So it's fine. I mean, as I mentioned to you, the complete schedule is generally flexible, but it will be done with the approval and the concurrence of the whole pool. I mean, I cannot arbitrarily say that 30th of May because we don't know. For example, some of you may have exams from 10th to 30th May, so then it is very unrealistic. So yes, we will be open to changes, but right now we don't know about it.
All right, sir. And one more thing, when we submit, like not for the initial concept report, but for future reports, what is the level of of extensiveness for the numerical computation, or for example, finite element analysis? What is the level expected?
That is very difficult for me to answer because, see, it depends on what you can do at your level as a student. Okay, so what I will do probably is we will conduct one webinar dedicatedly on what is meant by conceptual design and what is the extent of depth a person can go. Obviously, I cannot expect you to do extensive wind tunnel testing or any extensive structural analysis because this is conceptual design. You are going to look at what are the conceptual features on this aircraft which are going to be able to meet the requirements best. Okay, now to do that, if you say FEM analysis basically comes mostly, as I understand, it comes in preliminary design area where you go to various specific components. Okay, so maybe I'll ask Dr. Kota to comment on this. Dr. Kota, what do you think? I mean, do you really expect them to do any FEM analysis, etc.?
No, the point is today making an FEM analysis is not a big problem. Okay, but keeping in view the time constraint, they must plan the whole thing. Okay, after all, time is the same. Yeah. But if they want to do a first cut analysis, either empirical or a FEM, it is for the team to decide.
Correct. And the second thing is, if you do an FEM analysis on your configuration and then all your boundary conditions are wrong or the elements you have used are incorrect and the results are very, unbelievable results, then it will go against you only because that means you have done something without really applying the proper logic. Okay, so we are not saying don't do it, but we are saying that it is up to you.
Do it, but keep in mind the overall. Even if you are doing it, can be a rough analysis.
Correct. So, like, don't go into a lot of detailed vibration analysis and aeroelastic deformations, etc. I mean, people can do all that, but it will be an overkill for this. There are other things which are much more important, I think, where you should focus on. Okay. All right. So, by midterm report, if you really put very good effort and do all the things, and you may say, okay, we have time and we have expertise, go ahead. But remember, you have already signed that you are going to use legal software for all this. Okay. So if anybody uses a pirated copy of Fluent or pirated copy of FEM analysis, we are going to disqualify you. Remember that, because we don't want to encourage any use of pirated software. So in the registration form, your principal has already signed that we are not going to allow students to use any pirated software. So I want to make it very clear right now.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, go ahead now. There are very lot of questions. Barkha Sagar, what is your question?
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
Sir, in the mission requirement, in air taxi mode, we have a space for 4 passengers and 0.5 meter cube for cargo hold. And we are also given air cargo mode. So do we need to design for both modes, or we can just design for air taxi or air cargo?
No, you have to design for both the modes. So basically what you need to do is you need to have the same aircraft is going to be used in 2 modes, either it will be used to transport 4 passengers with half a meter cube of cargo, okay, but the total weight, the payload will be only 500 kg, or it will be used purely for transporting cargo. So there will be pilot plus 500 kg of cargo, and that cargo will fit in, or that cargo will require 1.5 meter cube of space. So the aircraft has to be reconfigurable to both the modes.
Okay,
You don't have a choice to do only one of them. You have to have an aircraft which can do both the things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Sanjit?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. So my basic question was that the rules and regulations that are to be followed are of Indian rules and regulations, right, sir? For like the aircraft structure or certain methods that are created, the rules should be followed of Indians. It's not the whole worldwide rules and regulations.
Yeah, but what you say is right. See, principally, this vehicle is going to be designed for Indian conditions.
Okay, sir.
Now, if you design it for conditions, or if you design it for regulations which are more stringent available abroad, then you have a product which can actually have a better reach. So it's a better design.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir.
However, we are not telling you that no, you design it with all regulations into the world. We are saying that this is the air taxi for India. So if you can get the relevant regulations from India, and if you meet them, it is sufficient.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So that was Sanjit. Parminder Singh.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Parminder. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, do we have any limitations for motors?
What kind of limitations?
Sir, like what type of motor we can use? As you mentioned, we can use only non-fossil fuels.
Right.
Is this any motor which come under the fossil fuels?
No, if you use an engine that uses kerosene, gasoline, or avgas, etc., that is disqualified. But if you are using an electrical motor or any other kind of propulsion system, we have no problem.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we have no problem.
Okay, sir.
Right. Sanjit.
Sorry, sir. I didn't lower my hand. Sorry, sir.
Okay, fine. So once your question is answered, please lower your hand so that I can. Aero Indians, again, there is a question from one more team, Aero Indians, Parth.
Hello.
Yes,
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, as the name suggests, so like it's an air taxi. So like the avionics part, like it's different from the aircrafts and the the taxis which are currently running on the roads. The avionics system is a bit different for it. So I just want to ask whether there is any specialized persons or like any specialized persons to be appointed to drive the kind of things or any specialized training, so so that we can add up or like that we can design the avionics part.
Okay, so this word taxi is causing confusion in your minds. I would suggest that you forget about any road taxi. No such things are applicable. This is an aircraft, but it is being used to travel between two cities like a road taxi, but it is traveling by air. So you design it as an aircraft. And when you look at the literature, when you look at what other people are doing, you will get a very good idea about what kind of instruments, avionic instruments, are essential and relevant for intercity or for this kind of application. So you design it based on those considerations.
Yes, got it, sir.
Somebody's mic. Okay, lower your hand after that. Okay, Rutu Sanket.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, in the last year's initial concept report, we were required to list the softwares and the tools that we were going to use. Do we do that this time also?
Yes, when I say plan of action, I exactly mean that also. When I say plan of action, I mean how are you going to do, what are you going to do, and definitely you will mention what kind of tools you are going to use.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it will be helpful. Okay.
Okay.
Shobit Mahajan.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Audible, yes. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask: will we be provided with previous year's final reports, like just for as a guideline?
That's an interesting question. So we were thinking that on our website we should be able to upload the reports of the last year's the top 5 teams of last year. Yeah, we were planning to do that. So I think we'll just take permission. I think we should be able to do that. So I'll make a note. That we should load the reports of the previous finalists.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, we can provide you. But you know what happens is that should not become a guideline for you that we should do only this much or that way. You should actually you can use them as just a reference, but don't get biased by them.
Yes, sure.
So the problem definition is different.
Yeah, I think they just want to know to what extent to go and what kind of things the winning teams have done. So the old reports will not be useful for you from technical point of view, but you might like to at least see to the extent people have gone, the winning teams, how much they have gone to. Okay.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Right. Now TLD Mansa Devi. Yes, Mansa Devi, you can unmute yourself and speak. Okay, I think we should go ahead. If she has a problem, she can join later.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry, sir, I had some microphone issues.
No problem. Go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding this contest, whether we want to find the obstacle point at each location when designing an air taxi.
No, we have not given you any specific location, right? We have not said that the taxi is from Bangalore to Chennai or something like that.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot do any specific obstacle work. That requirement can be used by you only to say that we have to have some kind of a system which will give a warning the moment we are from within some distance from any obstacle. That's all you can do. We are not giving a specific city.
Okay, sir. Right? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sushmita from Team Agrini.
Good evening, sir. It's regarding the autopilot mode. Are we supposed to mention, are we supposed to design it in a completely autopilot mode or a semi-autopilot mode or something?
No, this is not a autopilot aircraft. This is with one pilot with 90 kg, including baggage. So now,
yes, sir.
Now if you want to give an autopilot to the pilot, it is your choice. It's up to you, because you have to look at the distances, you have to look at the time, looking at the speed. So if you decide that no, we have to provide an autopilot to relieve the pilot, it's okay, it's up to you. But we are not insisting that it should be, it is not autonomous. It is a piloted aircraft.
Excuse me, sir.
But autopilot, as Professor Pant says, if you feel there is a need, you can add it.
Correct. If you feel there is a requirement, please go ahead and put it. But if you are getting mixed up between autonomous and piloted, let me clarify, there is no autonomous operation. It is always piloted.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can lower your hand. Okay. All right. Tathagat Bhalerao.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Tathagat.
Sir, my question is like in mission requirement, as it shows the entry to market is before 2031. So for that, should we consider or assume advancement in technology of that time, or it should be our current technology?
No. Because the entry is 2030 and you can safely assume improvements in the current technology levels till that year, but you have to show us what is the logic for your projection. Like, how did you project that in 10 years time this would be available? And by all means, you do not design an aircraft. In fact, you design an aircraft 15-20 years before it actually finds services. So you definitely have to look into the future growth. Yes,
sir.
you cannot say I'll design it with today's batteries or today's systems.
So we can assume that. Okay.
No, not only we can, you must. There is a requirement that a good design would be the one that looks at, but it cannot be that you have an unrealistic estimate and say that, okay, we assume that there will be 100 times more improvement in capability. I mean, it has to be justifiable. So we would like to see how you have arrived at the justification for the available. One of the part of this project is technology forecasting. So we will try to arrange a talk by someone who will help you how to do that. I'll make a note.
Okay.
Make a note that this is one help required. Right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sandita from Albatross.
Yes, sir. Sir, although this is asked before, but I would like to just clarify one point. In the constraints given in the problem statement, there has been mentioned, it is mentioned that the takeoff and the landing has to be autonomous. I guess that's why the doubt came up if it is piloted or not. Could you just clarify that?
No, I think there is a problem then. I'll have to look at the problem statement very carefully because I don't remember. Wait, let me just cross check. Since you have raised this point, I'll just cross check quickly the problem, the document which we have given.
So we have removed it out.
Yeah, that's what I remember. We have removed that. So I don't know why you are saying that it is autonomous. Yeah. So please look at the document carefully. Okay. I think we have. We don't have any mention about autonomous operation in the. See, there may have been some mention in the during the previous competition final. That time we were thinking, but final document that is available on the website, that will become the guideline for evaluation.
Okay, sir. I must have mistaken it then.
Okay. Robin Sahota.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. As we can read in the document, sir, there rooftops is mentioned, the word rooftops. So what sort of rooftops are we expecting? The commercial, the industrial, or the residential too? And are they concerned with the challenge that vibrations and all those things?
Vibration, sorry.
Sir, actually,
correct. So you see, this is it's a slightly vague thing. I mean, I don't want to mention a building of 16 floors or a building of 5 floors. I basically, this building rooftop is basically a generic statement saying that it is expected to take off and land from top of a building.
Yes, sir. Actually, the main concern that I would address is that are the residential people over there going to be affected with that, the noises and all those things?
They will be. If you are operating from somebody's building rooftop, there will be some noise. So you have to look into this factor also, that how much noise is being created and whether it will be beyond the permissible limit. There are regulations available for how much noise is acceptable. So yes, you have to look into that. You cannot be a very bad neighbor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. My doubt is cleared, sir. Okay.
All right. Yeah, Jatin Jingra from IIST.
Sir, can a webinar be arranged on aeroacoustics?
Aeroacoustics for what? For noise prediction?
Yes, sir. Like how?
Okay. How to estimate the noise levels? Okay. So what we will do, we will note this. Okay. We'll note
or a
this.
sub part of a webinar for some time.
Yeah,
it can be
we can definitely address this question through someone. Some people are asking questions on the chat now. So Rishabh has said that he has exams from 14th to 30th of December. And then Niharika says that should we follow IEEE format for the report? So Niharika, to answer your question, we are not specifying any format. So you are welcome to follow IEEE format. No problem with that. And now I make a note that till 30th December, some people are busy with exams. Now, we'll have to see what we can do. So some teams, so if you have exams from 14th December to 30th December, I expect you to spend the next 1 week at least in doing something. You cannot say that we will start the work only after our examinations, because then it will be endless. Okay, Pushkin TS from Aero Indians.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, do we have any space constraints of the rooftop, like to fit the aircraft on the rooftop?
I think we'll have to specify that. We'll have to specify that because it can be taken as anything by anybody. So rooftop dimensions. Okay. So I will make a note.
Yes,
sir. We have to
put it like a helipad.
Yeah, actually, earlier we said helipad, but then we said that why not we
that will give you a clear dimension. No? There is a dimensional requirement that can be as a guideline.
Okay, so I think Dr. Kota, you are right. We can just say that there is a helipad on the rooftop, and
they can take it.
Yeah, so then we will say take a typical helipad on the rooftop as a requirement. Okay, Darren Timothy John.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is
Yes,
Darren Timothy.
Yeah.
From Team Goshawk, Arun Institute of Technology and Sciences. Regarding the previous question that was asked, if you're giving design constraints for the rooftop helipads, if that's the case, then shouldn't the aircraft? Someone had asked earlier that the aircraft is any aircraft design requirements. So we had mentioned that it's up to us. Now, since this has come up, shouldn't there be an aircraft design constraint?
I'm not clear about the question. What do you mean by aircraft design constraints?
Like now for a rooftop, now you can't land like a huge aircraft right on a helipad. So if the helipad is small, then you need to have like a optimum size for the aircraft to land, right? So if you specify the constraints, then we can work with that.
Correct. So helipad is a standard dimension. And see, the thing is this: the dimensions of your vehicle are anyway going to be a function of the weight it has to carry, the payload, and its own structural weight. So even if you want it to be less than say 1000 kg, it will not be, perhaps, because of the sheer load it is supposed to carry. And then therefore an appropriately strong helipad will have to be designed on the rooftop of a building. But don't get into the design of rooftop helipads. So that's why what we will do is, as Robin has mentioned in the chat window, we will specify the dimensions of the rooftop. I think that is a better idea. So that way there is no serious constraint. But dimensions can be specified only after the sizing etc. is done. So it should not become a very serious constraint for any concept. I'm worried about that also. So anyway, we will get back to you. We will discuss and get back to you on this. This is a good question, good point to be raised.
Sure, sir. And just one more thing. You mentioned the Slack workspace. When will be given access to that?
Yeah, so that will be given by the volunteers very soon. I will leave it to the volunteers. So can any of the volunteers unmute and please explain to us what is your plan of action? So who is going to handle the Slack workspace?
Sir Ramakrishnan will handle the Slack workspace, and he will send all the participants to our invitation link for Slack workspace. So after within a day, all the participants have to join via using that link.
So Ramakrishnan, you are there in the meeting, right?
No, Ramakrishnan has some work, so he has left. But he informed me, so he will send invitation link after the webinar. Okay. So all the participants have to confirm via link within a day, because after 1 day the link will get expired.
No, it may be a good idea to give some more time, because giving just 1 day is a bit dicey. Anyway, we will see what to do. So
okay, so we will inform on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, we will inform you on the WhatsApp group and via the email. I also want to request all participants that strictly please follow the protocol of sending emails only and only at the dedicated NACDeC email. And the WhatsApp group is essentially meant for any urgent or specific messages. Any detailed discussion or any detailed requirements, etc., will be discussed mainly through the email. And also, if possible, we will upload it on the website. Okay. Are there any other questions anybody has, or any other comments? Any of the faculty mentors would like to say something about the competition or about the way we plan to do it? If you have any views.
Yeah, I have just one comment to make.
Yeah, Surya. Yes, yeah, Surya.
Yeah, this issue has already been raised before. That is that it's better to start a little late so that the exams get over for the students. You know, the online examinations have their own tension associated with that. So it's better that you postpone it by at least about, I would say, 3 weeks. T equal to 0, let it start from 3 weeks from now. That's my suggestion.
No, Surya, I completely appreciate, because if some team says that they are having exams from 14 December to 30th December, I mean, we can expect them to work for 1 week now max, okay, maybe even less, and then after that only in January. So, okay, so right, we completely understand, and therefore we are going to definitely extend the deadline from 25th December to a substantial time. Perhaps, Dr. Kota, maybe it is okay to make it mid-January. 15th January is a good time. Dr. Kota, what do you say? 15th January should be a good deadline?
15th January is a good thing.
Because even the people who have exam till 30th will get
correct. 15th Jan gives them enough time to do that thing.
Right.
Okay.
So I think we will shift the ICR submission to 15th January and we will amend all the documents. Okay. There is a question from Niharika. Is there any landing gear specification? No, we don't want to give any specifications. You have to figure out how to design a landing gear for this aircraft that operates from rooftops. So this is your job. Whatever are the general guidelines and specifications, you should follow that. That's a part of the design exercise. Okay. Anybody else whose questions have not yet been taken up?
There are some questions from YouTube Live.
Right. So you can, very good.
I have copied paste.
So what's the minimum height of vertical lift required for the aircraft before takeoff? Minimum height of vertical lift required for the aircraft before takeoff. Is the aircraft required to take off vertically and then move horizontally, or can just take off? So see, we will specify the rooftop dimensions, and then you can figure out if you can make the aircraft to roll and take off in that distance, that is fine. Or if you want to go for vertical takeoff, that is fine. It's up to you. Okay. Yeah. So vertically and then inclined elevation, maybe. We are not specifying. Okay. See, there are aircraft available today, especially customized aircraft, which can actually lift off from a distance of as small as 35 feet. I have seen some videos of small aircraft. In fact, there is a competition for the shortest takeoff distance. So it is possible to take off very, very short distance. So it's not necessary that it has to be only, of course, the requirement says vertical takeoff and landing. Naveen Lal has a question. We need to consider the specific climate conditions or create a design operable in all ideal conditions. How should we consider? No, we have to look at India. I think design it for Indian conditions. That should be sufficient. All right. So volunteers, do you have any other questions available from?
So there was one more question saying that what should be the report format?
Yeah, so I have already answered the question. We are not specifying any format for the report. One student said that, can we use IEEE format? You are welcome to use that. Somebody may use AIAA format. That is also acceptable. We don't have any specifications for the format. Yes, we would like you to have it in some spacing. So that we will tell you in the guidelines. What is the kind of, because for readability of the report, there is some minimum spacing required, some font size required. So that we will inform you. But the format is up to you. Actually, don't waste time in making it as per a particular format. Any standard readable format is acceptable. Anything else? So if there are no more, okay, Pushkin has a question. Yes, Pushkin.
Sir, one request, sir. That rooftop dimensions, can you be able to give dimensions according to the rural areas consideration? Like rural areas, people can also use.
Agreed, but
Yeah.
How does the dimension change for a rooftop based on rural or urban?
Like the space constraints of the rooftops, sir. Like in rural areas, it won't be like big rooftops, right?
No, then they can land on the ground. So
Okay.
we will specify an area within which operations should take place, and if you don't have a rooftop available, we will go for ground.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So once the dimensions are given for the operational area, automatically you will be able to figure out how to use it. Okay, any more questions? It's already 6:15. We have been online for about an hour and 15 minutes now. It's very nice, very encouraging to see such interesting questions being asked from students. Anybody else would like to make any comment or make any suggestion before we close the webinar? This is your last chance. All right, so if there are, okay, Robin Sahota.
So it's a request, like from the starting I asked this thing twice, so it's a request that kindly make those lifting area, that the rooftop dimensions as maximum as possible, sir. Just a little request. I know it's all totally up to you, but it's just a request, sir.
Okay, request accepted, and we will consider about it. The
Grateful.
chief coordinator Namanudin wants to say something. Yes, Namanudin, please go ahead.
So there is a request from all the volunteers to follow all the social media site from all the participants.
Okay, so all participants, please go to the social media sites and please follow them so that we get a good amount of coverage. Okay, so we will not disqualify you if you don't follow, but we are going to make an earnest request that you please follow all the social media sites so that we can get good traction also for the NACDeC. Okay, yeah, Surya. So Surya, we will share. In fact, a recording of webinar will be made available. This webinar is being recorded, so that recording will be shared on our YouTube channel subsequently. Okay, I think with that, I would like to thank Dr. Kota once again for spending so much time with us and to give us a very encouraging launch pad for this competition. And his constant encouragement and support is vital for us, and that is what actually fuels energy in us. So thank you so much, sir, and all participants, good to have you, and we hope we will have a nice competition which all of you will enjoy. And a big round of applause and thanks for all the volunteers to have put such a large amount of effort in creating all these sites, and I hope videos will be shared very soon by all the teams so that we can upload them. So with that, I would like to thank